Hello, everyone. Morky Roy here. Let's start over. Hello, everyone. Morky Roy here again. We're going to be playing kind of a different game today. I found this one. I don't know if it's a Halloween really game, but it has the word witch in the title. And it seems kind of got that kind of spooky Grimm's fairy tale quality to it. So I think it's a good choice for Halloween. I had another one that I had that was like a puzzle game with a cute little witch. And seemed like it might be a good match too, but I wasn't sure if it was like very Halloween-y and just like had a witch in it. So I don't know if this one is either, but it gives me cozy, creepy vibes. So we'll give it a shot. Anyway, so here it is. This is called oh god, I gotta look at the title again. The Thief, the Toad, the Witch, and the Mushroom. So we'll give it a shot. Okay. My mouth moving correctly? A little bit. Yeah, it's going okay. Okay, let's read the story. Okay, so we have, this book belongs to Morgan. Ooh, I like the writing. And I'm a she/her. This game automatically saves each time you make a choice. Some things once done can never be undone. Ooh. Okay, this is a free game on Steam. So, and I did read that it has a lot of endings. So if you want to play this game, you should. It's free. It's not very big. And it seems like a fun time. Okay, keep this book clean. Do not turn down the leaves. Borrowers finding this book pencil marked, written upon, mutilated, or warrantably defaced are expected to report it to the librarian. It's okay. The art is really cool in this too. Oh. Okay. Sorry. This maybe happened or maybe did not. The time is long past and much is forgotten. Back in the old days, when wishing worked, your mother lived in a vast forest teeming with strange figures. I'm gonna check. Can you see my... Don't think you can see my cursor. I'm just gonna double check and make sure my cursor's off, because... don't capture cursor. Okay, we're good. Let me turn it up a little bit. There we go. Here we go. To the north lived a cunning thief. And the art is so pretty. To the west, a cackling witch. To the east, a haughty toad. To the south, a wise mushroom. Mushroom castle. Like the Taj Mahal. Yet she had little time to spend wondering about these odd folks, for she had 12 children and had to work night and day just to feed them. That is a lot of kids. A lot of kids. When you were born as the 13th, she had no idea what to do. She took you up in her arms and ran into the darkness of the forest, promising that she would ask the first man she met to be your godfather. In the dark... Oh, someone marked the book. In the darkness of the forest. Oh. In the darkness of the forest, she may or may not have met a man in white. Is anything certain these days? His right hand held a dove. His other hand held a gun. His other hand held a crisp dollar bill. His other hand held a pillar of fire. Do you believe that's too many hands? I do believe that is too many hands for the average person. His suit was perfect. His face was too bright to look upon. He already knew what was on her mind. Oh, this is the man clad in white. Poor woman. Let me be the godfather. I shall hold this child and make sure she's happy on this earth for the rest of her days. I will ask only one thing. She must work hard and earn every dollar and obey me above all else. Okay, so this is a choose your own adventure story. Awesome. If she asked them... Ooh, God. If she asked the mysterious figure who he was, turn to page 11. Yeah. I don't like his terms, but I also don't have 12 kids. Oh, hi, Cranberry. Hello. Yes. This is a choose your own adventure story with very pretty art, and it kind of has a spooky, cozy feel to it, so that's why I'm playing it today. Yes, Morgy Roy Monday. Woohoo! Alliteration, my favorite. Okay. I am your dear lord. Are you, though? I will ask only one thing. She must work hard and earn every dollar and obey me above all else. If she says yes, turn to page 13. If she said no, turn to page 14. I don't like the obeying me part. I think guys ask that of women too much. Maybe. I don't know. She said no, turn to page 14. Then I don't want you as the godfather. Oh, this is the mother. Then I don't want you as the godfather. You give to the rich and take from the poor. You are no lord of mine. She said this foolish thing with no understanding of how wisely the Lord distributes wealth and poverty. Arguable. She turned away from him and ran into the forest. In the deeper darkness of the forest, she may or may not have a man all in red. How can we be sure of anything but the greatness of God? All the jewels of the earth fell from his right hand, and all the pleasures of the world fell from his left. And his other hand held all the wonders of the universe, and his other hand held a fat cigar, and his other hand held a long knife black as coal dust, and his other hand held the most intoxicating spices, such as that the King of Kings would cry to taste them, and his other hand held a single dead rose, and his other hand was in his pocket, and out of view. Again, too many hands. Too many hands for the average person. The other guy had 4. This guy has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hands. We're getting more hands. Poor woman, let me be the godfather. I'll make sure the child needs nothing and wants everything. She shall live in wealth and comfort for all of her days, and devour on the richest meats for every meal. I'm pretty sure this guy's bad, but that sounds good. I only have one condition. She must promise to obey no master and scorn the rule of law and do as she wilt every day of her life. If she asks who the mysterious figure was, turn to page 18. Well, I'm going to ask him who he is. Why? I am the devil himself. I only have one condition. She must promise to obey no master and scorn the rule of law and do as she wilt every day of her life. I am a very anti-religious person, I realize, so I'm like... Devil doesn't sound too bad. And I'm worried that I can't go back if I say no. Let's do this. I'm sure... I'm not Christian by any stretch. I'm not a big fan of organized religion, so I'm kind of like, God was kind of mean. Devil is the devil, but his deal is better. Very well. Beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. Excellent. He let out a great shrieking cackle and placed his mark upon you. I'm sure this will end well. You will name her Morgan. Oh, it's me. Oh, it's me. I will comfort the child in the moment she turns 18. Keep her safe for me until then. Just make sure you're there for the christening on Sunday. But he was already gone. Your notes that you write down that you were the devil's godchild. Woo! Do I actually want to write this down? I think I'll remember. And so you grew up as a wild and willful child, and you drove your mother to distraction with your wickedness. Oh, come on. No kids are actually wicked. You obeyed no laws and no masters, and you roamed heedlessly across the hills and dales, cackling wildly and throwing mud in your wake, and all neighbors said, that one has the devil's mark upon her, and shut their doors. Oh, that sounds like a fun kid. I'm sorry. This so grieved your mother that she fell down dead. Oh, well. Sorry, Mom. My bad, Mom. Sorry. In spite of this, you still did not mend your wicked ways. Your ill deeds were rewarded, for you soon found that you could scarcely trip over a stone without unearthing precious diamonds and gems, and you became rich beyond the dreams of avarice. You lived with your 12 siblings in a house on stilts on the banks of a muddy river in a vast rainforest. Well, that's random. Like, I'm not saying it's bad. That would be kind of cool, but I had a ton of money and that's what I built. That kind of house I built? Sure. Awesome. You woke every morning to the chorus of birds and fell asleep having to the roaring crickets. This sounds like a good life. Like, besides the mom dying, which is sad. Yeah, but you missed the God option. The God option was, he said you had to obey him in all things. And I'm like, I don't like that. I want to know about my neighbors and the lands around my house. Yours was a many haunted land, my child. Back in those days, you could carefully take a step without stumbling over a ghost, gutterling, hook taker, scab eater, bat folk, or gringe. I love that. Ghost, gutterling, hook taker, scab eater, bat folk, or gringe. The scab eater, ew. The earth was overrun, and every house was haunted, and the devil lurked at every crossroad. In fact, the whole earth was overrun with trolls. Oh god, here we go. Trolls, hob and lanthorns, gringes, cutties and nisses, boguests, bonelesses, bogglebows, blackbugs and night bats, clabbernappers, corpse lice, candles and gabriel hounds, muckins, hodge poachers, corrids. I know what a corrid is. That's a D&D. It's in D&D. Lumber kids. I think that's in D&D too. Pluricons, hob thrushes, Todd Lowries, Jack in the Wads, Men in the Oak, Dudman, Yethhounds. Yethhounds are also in D&D. Mormos, Changelings are in D&D. Redcaps are in D&D. Cold Pixies and Tom Thumbs, Madcaps, Scrags, Spectres, Scarbug, Shagfuls. Oh, Ginny Burnt Tails, Doppelgangers, D&D. And apparitions of every shape, make, form, and fashion. Interesting. So we're in the Forgotten Realms, I suppose. The lands around your house were very strange. Oh, I didn't even say. I added the very. Oh, learn about the lands to the north. Yeah, let's start at the beginning. Do not ask lightly of the northern forest, my child. That was a cursed place where wicked sprites and gleeful ghosts had held sway. All who lived there slept uneasily in their bed as they heard the goblin train rattle past their windows each night. Probably scary, but not boring. The worst of them was the Master Thief, a dexterous and sinister figure who was said to have all manner of powers. Hey, there's a little drawing. Someone drew in the book. It was said on moonless nights their long, long arms would stretch through your window and up your stairs and into your bedroom and steal your dreams right out from under your pillow. In a single motion, their long, long legs would carry them away to a secret hideout where they would place your forgotten thoughts in a bag of mysterious things, never to be seen again. No jail could hold them, and no lock could bar them entry. Or so it was said. Okay, let's learn about the lands of the east. Just make our way down. To the east, the river flowed down to the coast. The mangrove trees, swayed in the summer heat, and the earth thrummed with chanting in honor of the insect god, Pernopticon. Cool. On the edge of the swamp was a grand manor owned by a noble frog lord. He was rarely seen, but people whispered that he was wiser than Solomon and richer than Midas. Kings and prophets would come from across the land, seek his counsel, and gaze with envy upon the glittering spires of his house. To buy even a single gem from among the hundreds that adorned the manor would bankrupt any one of them, or so it was said. That's the south. There's another drawing. Ah, in fact, the South River and the forest around it was watched over by a wise mushroom ambassador who had owned these lands since before anyone could remember. On cold, clear nights, you could see her walking through the depths of the forest with her white veil and delicate waves of silver spores drifting behind her. She sounds cool. Let's make friends with her. She allowed your family to live on the river and use her lands under one condition. Oh, naked! Naked lady! I don't know if this is allowed or not. Ask not of what concerns you not, lest you hear what pleases you not. Your family accepted her wishes, and so you let each other be. She was often away brokering trade agreements and peace treaties and delicate alliances between the many trees and plants and old warring ferns of the forest, or so it was said. I may have to blur that part later. None dared venture into the western mountains. There's another drawing. For all the lands around were said to be home to a terrible witch. Her hut lay deep under a secret lake, and she would emerge on moonless nights when the waters on that lake turned still and silver green. The witches held their Sabbath on the mountain to the east, and when the sky was clear, you could see the peak blaze with fire, and the destroyer himself would emerge to dance in the firelight. Or so it was said. We continue. You woke every morning to the chorus of birds, and you fell asleep every evening to the roaring of crickets. Okay. So I looked at all the lands, so continue the story. Alas, all too soon, the eve of your 18th birthday arrived. You set about in wild terror, for you knew that your godfather would come to take you away as soon as the clock struck midnight, and you had no wish to leave just yet. The closer the hour grew, the more frantic you became. You know you would soon pay dearly for all your years of wicked indolence. I know. I'll go to the village festival this eve. There will be travelers there from all over this haunted land. Surely one of them will know how to save me from my terrible fate. You gathered up your coin purse, along with some bread and meat for the journey, and resolved to travel until you found a way to escape the devil. And so you took up your belongings and strode down the road to the festival. The twilight set in. The crickets and cicadas all around began their chattering and squabbling, and the evening birds began to laugh and trill as the wet, cool mist of the rainforest settled around you. The crooked old water dragons looked sideways at you and plotted their long, slow schemes. A small turtle saw you coming and fled into the water with a splash. As you walked down the road, you saw the wise mushroom moving through the deep darkness of the trees, her pale spores flowing in a fog behind her. In her left hand she held a small lantern, and in her right hand she held a crooked knife stained green. I'm not an honest Christian. You ignored her and followed the path like an honest Christian. My mom made a deal with the devil. I'm not an honest Christian. I'll follow her. It might show her naked again, though, so we gotta be careful. You left the path and followed her from a distance. She walked into the towering buttress roots of an ancient straggler fig and cut the vines and swamp flowers from it to reveal a small blue door inlaid with precious moonstone and intricate engravings. Oh, there she is. She's naked again. Oh, I know the password. Gorge, guzzle, gulp, and grab, never shall this wound scab. I know the password. Let's get off that screen. With this, the door opened before her, and she vanished inside immediately. If you enter the door, turn to page 26. If you went back down the path, turn to page 28. I'm afraid to talk to her too much because it's going to keep showing her naked. And I'm going to worry that this is going to be taken down or marked as, I don't know, restricted or something. So, she's cool though. And I'll have to go and blur these, I'm sure, but you rushed back to the path, worried at any moment you might be seen. Thank goodness that I know not to ask of what concerns me not. That could have led some kind of dangerous magical adventure. She did say that. She did say don't ask of what concerns you not. But I know the password, and I am the devil's godchild or whatever. Those are the things I have to remember. And so you continued down the path, giving thanks to our Lord for your natural good sense. Yeah. And the only thing is it has to be up for a while. It has to process before I can blur it. So it'll be up with the full nakedness for a little bit, but that's okay. She's fine. It's like artistic nakedness. It's like, the Venus de Milo painting. She's naked too. Nobody cares. It's an art. As you were walking down the road thusly, you came upon an old beggar woman. Her eyes were blind and her back was crooked in 5 directions at once. Oh my god, poor woman. And her hair floated all around her head like a twisting gray frog. Okay, don't call me out. My hair does that too. And she hobbled about with only the aid of an old cane to help her along. My hair is very fine. And, I just have a lot of it, but it's fine. And it floats around my head like that. Okay, she's wearing a full veil. Yeah. Might you lend a hand? Oh, might you lend a hand for a frail old woman? The woods are dark tonight, and I thought I heard howling from the space between the trees. You help the old woman? I'm gonna help an old woman. 73, we're really jumping in the story. You took the old woman's arm to support her weight. Oh, in a flash, her clothes tore asunder and her mask fell to the ground. You saw it was all nothing but a disguise. In her stead stood the cunning and terrible form of the master thief. They wore a midnight cloak across their back and a cunning look on their sly face. Oh my god, I love them. They're so cool! They got possibly skin hair, but it's hard to tell where the hair starts and their skin stops, but That's right, it's me, back again to steal your heart and tear this land asunder. I love the Master Thief. No law shall stand, and no magistrate shall ever know peace for as long as my legs can run. And with a shout of laughter, they demonstrated this, running their long legs into the forest. And I would say, well, they didn't do anything to us. As soon as you tried to chase them, you discovered that your clothes had been stolen off your back and replaced with origami paper replicas. Your belt was now a strip of seaweed, your socks were old moss, and now you are wearing someone else's shoes. Despair gripped you. I'll let them go. You walk sorrowfully back to the road, cursing old Gooseberry for your misfortune. Who's old Gooseberry? I assume that's like a English thing, but as you trudged back to the road, you discover that all of your coins had been stolen and replaced with IOUs. The bread was now nothing but crumbs, and the meat had been turned into a live possum with a note saying on it saying ham. It bit you and fled into the woods. My things have been stolen. Okay, cool. So I know the past. I'm kind of worried I should write this down. One second. Devil. Password. Stolen. There. I'm writing this down now, so just in case I do need to remember this. Yeah, no worries. I'll look it up. I'll look up old. I feel like wow. I feel like old Gooseberry is a thing I've heard of before. And so you set about wailing and beating the ground and tearing at your paper clothes, crying out, saying, "Oh, my lord and master, the father of lies, how could you forsake me? I, who have outdone all others in wickedness, and served you faithful in evil all these long years." You weren't evil. You were just a mischievous child. Whatever. After a long time, you drew yourself up from the ground and spoke to the trees. "Hear me now, thief. My godfather is the devil, and my blood runs with nothing but spite, and I will not rest until the Prince of Darkness fastens his hand around your ankles and drags you straight down to hell where you belong." Wow. I'm like calling out the thief. But there was nothing to be done for now, and so you tightened your seaweed around your waist and set off once more for the festival, vowing vengeance upon the Master Thief. As you walked down the road, sweating in the warmth of the summer night, you heard the thunder of hooves behind you, and you turned to see 4 horses pulling up a magnificent golden carriage. The horses were pure white, with intricate porcelain and shining bridles made of fine-spun ropes laced with gold. Oh yeah, gooseberry is a type of berry. Cranberry? Cranberry and gooseberry. But old gooseberry, I think, is some kind of English myth. The carriage door was open to show a curtain of lush red silk, and behind the curtain, you could see the shadow of a lean and graceful figure of noble bearing. Oh my god. Sorry, eyelash. Enigmatic gentleman. Told. Oh, a rich, low voice like dark mahogany came from behind the curtains, showing the distinctive tones of one of good breeding and character. The horses slowed to walk beside you. A slender hand grasping a long cigarette holder emerged from the curtains and beckoned to you. The shadow of the man inside swirled a glass of brandy in his other hand. From inside the curtain you could smell rich spices, incense, and thyme. Is this my godfather? "Where are you headed, fellow traveler?" Told him about the festival, turn to page 12. Said the glass mountains, turn to 61. Said the road of pins and the road of needles, turn to page 61. If you said the space between the trees. Let's tell him about the festival. "Why, that's exactly where I'm going. Come, ride along in my carriage, and we shall get there twice as fast. This is no night to be walking out alone. Haven't you heard there's something in these woods?" I like the little pictures. I'll accept the lift. Honestly, my character does not seem like they are thinking things through too much. He reached up to take the gentleman's hand, and he whisked you into the carriage. The moment you were through the curtain, you realized something was wrong. Instead of the graceful and elegant nobleman you expected, you discovered a small, ugly cane toad. The incense you smelled was nothing but the reek of dirt and mud. The brandy was pond scum, the gleaming carriage was just rotten old squash, and the graceful arm that beckoned you from behind the curtain was nothing but a wooden prop the toad held in his bulging hand. You turned to run, but it was too late. With a clap, the toad commanded his steeds. "Prickle, crawl, shudder, and clink. Don't tear your stall. Get us there in a wink. The brilliant white horses tore off their clothes and revealed themselves to be a crow shrike, a rat, a bat, and an old black cockatoo. Okay. They cackled and gibbered to each other as they raced off down the road with you, bumping and rolling and pulling apart pine cones and causing terrible devastation as they went. Well, are you impressed? You don't say that I am the devil's godchild. Ooh, yes. Sir, you've made one mistake. Never tangle with the spawn of the devil. With a single motion, you stole all the valuables you could grab and leapt from the moving carriage like a holy terror, tumbling into the road below. Yeah! What the? Stop! Thief! Or, what the? Stop, thief. But it was too late. You were already away and running into the woods, laughing with impish glee. You looked down in your haul and found that you managed to swipe a lovely emerald brooch in the shape of a dragonfly. I have an emerald brooch. Woo! You hid it in your pocket and went on your way. And so you finally arrived at the village. The rich, dark blanket of night was softly rolling over the town, and cooking fires lit up all across the hills, one by one. The town was overflowing with people bustling about and preparing for the festival, pulling up chairs and laying stacked tables around the enormous bonfire in the center of town. Let's look at the food. Over the bonfire was a thick, suckling pig on a spit, slathering in rosemary and garlic butter and herbs of all types, and stuffed with breadcrumbs and fresh figs and cheap walnuts and why did I say cheap? Crisp walnuts and apples and all the fruits of the earth. The mangoes were in season, and the trees were so weighed down with them that they would fall off and roll down to the town gutters, so that the whole town was rich with the sweet scents of fruit, mixed with the smell of wood smoke and spices and crackling fat from the cooking fires. Those mangoes that didn't roll away fast enough were plucked up immediately and eaten by gleeful clouds of fruit bats that chittered and cackled in the swirling chaos overhead. So this has the sound of like an old English thing, but there's like rainforests and mangoes and fruit bats which give it more of like a tropical theming. One second, I got a cough. Colossal glass bowls of red sangria, yes, sangria is so good, were placed at each table, filled with fresh oranges and giant yellow lemon slices, ground cinnamon, and brandy and crisp sweet apples and ginger ale. Nice. For dessert, there were giant lemon meringue pies made from lemons as big as your fist, covered in fresh whipped meringue from the baker's parlor. The town was overflowing with people bustling about and preparing for the festival, pulling up chairs and laying stacked tables around the enormous bonfire at the center of town. I guess I'll sit down with the rest of the guests. You took your place at the table. All the villagers were there. The cunning hunter, the young goose girl with her unruly geese, they're all sitting at the table. The old gloom monger, the town mayor, even the warty old toad you met on the road. The stars and the moon slowly arrived to take their places. The birds and moths and the firmament and the soft mist of night all came and were seated. But one guest was missing. No one had seen the wild witch of the woods all night. As the festival began, a terrible concern and commotion went up among the guests, for we all knew what terrible luck it is to spurn a witch. Oh! That's good art. That looks like Pathfinder art. Did her invitation go missing? Impossible. I delivered it myself. But still, the witch did not arrive, and soon everyone was in a frenzy of worry. We've given offense to her somehow. She'll turn all our hair to straw and infest our picnics with ants. None shall escape. All our spoons will rust and our forks will get stuck in the drawers. I already had enough on my hands dealing with the geese. The panic increased when the sparrow herder rushed in and waved for attention. The master thief has struck again. Oh Lord, I knew it. I swear I can hear the rattling of the goblin train already. The entire suckling pig is missing. Quick, check your valuables. The whole town turned out their pockets and discovered all their spare change had been taken and replaced with live rats. That's terrifying. But shrieked and leapt away and ran to the forest. Yeah, for sure. The entire town. No! Darth Vader scream. Told you. You stood in the middle of the village. You investigated the banquet, turn to page 64. If you investigated the edge of town, turn to page 70. You turn around, went home, turn to page 1. Just start over. Let's investigate the banquet. You walked down to the river where the banquet was laid out before the bonfire. Some folks were gripping each other tight and crying out at the misfortune that had befallen their town. Others simply sat in glum silence. The cane toad from the road was gulping down every morsel of food he could find, cradling a wine glass that was almost as big as he was, and darting his tongue out to snatch prawns and hot potatoes from nearby unattended plates. He looked out over the sad scene. Talked to the woeful villagers, talked to the sparrow herder, talked to the mayor, talked to the toad. I don't talk to the toad because I stole something from him. Let's talk to the mayor. If you're going out to hunt the witch, be wary. They say Moonhead walks these roads tonight. Moonhead? Is that Mac the Knight? Okay, woeful villagers. They pay no attention to you, but continue shaking their heads and watching the flames with wretched misery. Let's talk to the sparrow herder. Good day. Be careful as you walk around town, mate. Stick to the center of the street and never cross the gutters without crossing your path with salt. The gutterlings hide there. Oh, if I talk to the toad, he's gonna take my stuff back, maybe. You! Hellion knave! Oh, Hellion knave. You'll see justice for your crimes, or my name isn't Brittlebrogue Chippingham. You quickly hid under the tablecloth until the toad became distracted by a passing prawn platter, and you gave you time to slip away. Best to avoid him for now. Cool. Let's return to the village square. Walk back to the center of the village. Let's investigate the edge of town. You walked out to the edge of town, where the villagers ran to and fro, searching for the master thief. Some of them were strapping down a tarp. Fruit bats chirped and swirled overhead. Let's talk to the goose girl. Greetings, friend. Be careful of the crystal caverns to the north. Talk to the hunter. A wolf? A wolf? Don't be silly. Okay. Boommonger? Give it up now. You're already doomed. Looked in the well. Let's look to the well. That's always gonna be safe. Oh god. Evening. The thing in the well. I love it. Oh, he's just nice. Okay, cool. Let's investigate the tarp. What is this? Shh. Keep your voice down. This is all part of our plan to catch that dastardly master thief. We're sure to fail. This whole plan is doomed. Care to join us? Ask how they plan to catch the thief. Turn on page 6. Ask why they plan to catch the thief. What? Well, the thief stole a bunch of stuff. Asked about your godparent. How? With this. The hunter flexed their muscles and pulled back the tarp to reveal an ornate chest full of lustrous pebbles and stones. We'll take this out to my house and nail it to the veranda. Everyone knows the master thief can't resist anything that's nailed down. Exactly. And their love for shiny rocks is well known. Echidna! What happened to be passing by at that moment? Okay, this book is being silly and I love it. A fine plan indeed, friends. There's no way this master thief I've heard so much about could ever detect this scheme, no matter how cunning and gorgeous they are. Thanks, friend. Your confidence means a lot. Care to join us? Why? They stole my courage. They stole my wisdom. And they stole my heart. We can't let them just run around doing as they please and getting the goose girl all hot and bothered. What if everyone decided to do that? It'd be anarchy. Hot, sweaty anarchy. I don't know. I'm concerned. I'm concerned. We already had a naked mushroom lady. I'll ask about my godparent. I need a way to escape my godfather, the devil. Do you have do any of you know how I can do that? Yeah, exactly. I advise you to give up immediately. Well, I have heard that the witch has sworn her soul to the devil. She would know how to help you if anyone would. If only she was here tonight. Oh, I can already feel her curse upon me. I want to catch the master thief. Yeah, let's go ask about the witch. Are you going to do anything about the witch's curse? And risk the wrath of the witch? Not on your life. I heard that she has fingers as long as flat as carpet snakes, and once you fall into her clutches, you'll never see daylight again. I heard she has many children with the devil, who are all evil. Well, I heard that all the trees of the woods are her children, but she regards them with vicious envy. Any of them that displease her by becoming too beautiful, she strikes them down. This is why the most beautiful trees are always thunderstruck. Care to join us? Do I try to catch the Master Thief, or do I want to go after the witch? I don't know, it's Halloween. Let's go after the witch. No worries. Have a good one. Well, you're nice. I want to turn... How do I go see the witch? How do I go see the witch? Okay. Okay, I guess we gotta go try and catch the Master Thief. Excellent. Let's be off at once. So you, the goose girl, the sparrow herder, and the hunter all leapt on the cart and rattled away down the road, leaving the old gloommonger behind. You're all doomed! Doomed! Don't worry, he says that every time we go anywhere. Soon you arrived at the young goose girl's house, which is overrun by honking devils who tore at the furniture and ransacked her pantry and snapped at everyone until she was at her wit's end. Were they Canada geese? Because that's what they do. You nailed the chest down to the veranda while the goose girl kept the geese at bay. You set bear traps around the chest. You rigged tripwires to bundles of tin cans around the chest. If you placed a terrible goose inside the chest itself. Oh, we have to do the goose plan. You pricked up the most disagreeable goose from the pack and carefully placed it inside the chest, shielding her eyes as it pecked at you in rage. As soon as it was inside the chest, you slammed it shut. Then the four of you ducked behind a bush to watch the chest. The geese wandered around the house, honking softly. Now we wait. The thief will never get past us now. Hi, Echidna. I couldn't agree more, friends. This cunning and charismatic Master Thief character stands no chance against us. He's the Master Thief. He's talking him up a lot. Don't get cocky now. You lay there in silence, watching the chest. A fly landed on it. One of the geese waddled up and began to lick it. Wait just 1 moment. The goose girl crawled out and cautiously dragged a finger over the chest, then stuck it in her mouth. It's icing! The entire chest had been replaced with a massive cake, baked to look exactly like the cake chest in every detail. It's the game show! Is it cake? Is it cake? And they got a guess. You cut open the cake to find a fine meringue goose inside. The smell of chocolate wafted from behind you. You turned in slow horror, realization already dawning. The goose girl's entire cottage has been placed with a gigantic gingerbread house. Well, okay, this thief is good. If they're this good, they deserve to steal everything. You all wailed in piteous woe. You took the cake as evidence, searched for the Master Thief. Let's search the Master Thief. You look around wildly. What a shame. Oh well, I'd best be off. Wait just a second. You leapt for the echidna, but it backflipped away just in time. Laughing maniacally, it ripped off its mask to reveal none other than the Master Thief. That's right, it was I all along. I have stolen the eyes of heaven in the hands of God, and now I use those eyes in these hands to wreak mischief and misery upon this cursed earth. Stop them! The thief fled into the forest. The others chased after them. Try to go around and cut them off. You ran deep into the forest, planning to lay an ambush for the thief. Soon you left the others far behind. You lay in wait behind a bush until you heard their running footsteps. Then you leapt out and grabbed them. Their cloak came away with a tearing sound, and the figure before you fell apart into dust. It was nothing more than a pile of dead leaves and mud, carefully posed to look like the Master Thief using a cunning series of pulleys and wires. A slow clap echoed behind you. Well done, friend. The ornery goose you hid in the chest was now perched on their right shoulder, wearing a thief's mask and honking smugly. Ah, the goose was in on it the whole time. The thief's long, thin fingers toyed with some of the shining rocks from the chest. You! Give back my stuff. They laughed. As if from nowhere, your loaf of bread appeared in their hands. They tossed it up in the air, and before you could blink, it had disappeared again. I'll give it back in time, don't worry. But first, I have an offer for you. You see, I've heard of you. They say you run wild over the hills, doing as you please, and living in contempt of the law. I know you live near a mushroom who has riches, nearing those of the King of Kings. I plan to go there tonight and take her for all he's worth. Want to join? We could split the profits in a fair share. I'll give you back everything I stole into the bargain. Promise. Yes. They flashed you a charming smile. Tried to make the thief see the other ways. If you accepted and joined the Master Thief on his daring mushroom heist. You accepted while secretly planning to betray the Master Thief at a critical moment. You refused and rushed to warn the mushroom of his impending theft. Yeah, let's join him. Or them. Actually, they're they. Well, it says this. Oh, sorry. Yeah, they're they. They, them. Sure, let's join them. Wonderful. This would be a caper for the books. You'd best be careful, though. I'm rotten to the core, and I'm sure to betray you sooner or later. Well, at least they're honest. The thieves strode ahead in their long legs, and you had to run to keep up. Their nimble fingers were constantly moving, grabbing leaves off the trees or small rocks from the ground to fiddle with, and they couldn't seem to keep a single part of their body still for even a second. ADHD. Unmedicated ADHD. The night grew dark. You passed a river. You passed a rocky coast. You passed the ruins of the Sixth Age, a grim reminder of the inevitable destruction fast approaching your world. You passed a tree. So tell me about yourself. Got a family, a pet, likes, dislikes, hobbies, dreams, nightmares? If you were stranded on a desert island, which limb would you gnaw off first? Talked about my family, my 12 siblings. I have a family, 12 brothers and sisters. No mother anymore, though. She was driven to the grave by my wicked ways. My condolences and/or congratulations. I have no family, of course. One day a horned toad sat on a magpie egg, and I popped out fully formed. I stole my first breath of air, and then I stole these hands and these legs and this body of mine, and I've been stealing ever since. I love this person. They are great. They're my favorite character. Like, just chaotic neutral, the definition. I love it. Just like, this is how I am, and I'm not gonna change. Stretching. Okay, let's talk about our dreams. I dreamt I had a dad once. That was nice. Interesting. I dreamt the same thing. More of a nightmare, really. Nightmares. I've had this dream many times. I find myself in the middle of the forest. There is a crowd around me, but I know someone is missing. I look down and I realize I have no hands. Then I look down and realize I have no feet. I always know what will happen next. I will look up into the space between the trees, into the spiral. I am terrified, but I can't stop myself from doing it. There's the spiral again. I know I will see something there, waiting for me, in the dream. I know what it is. I know what will happen when I see it. I look up. I wake up screaming. I never remember what I saw there, until I have the dream again. There was a long pause. Well, once I had a nightmare I was chased by clowns. Watch this! They caught hold of a tree bough, and spun it around on it, then leapt off and landed on one foot in a nearby branch, balancing precariously. If you inquired as to the source of the thief's incredible abilities, they're obviously a magical creature. But still. The goblins stopped me. They leapt off the branch and landed with perfect poise, posing dramatically. Anyway, enough of my talents for now. We're here. The colossal roots of the mushroom strangler fig rose. The colossal roots of the mushroom strangler fig rose above you. Okay. More naked, possibly naked lady. All right, here's the job. They drew a floor plan in the dirt. The treasure's in the central chamber, here. The front door can only be opened with a password. There's another entrance up through the canopy, guarded by Banksia boys. Banksia boys? Or we could try in here, through an underground river patrolled by an old crocodile. So what's the plan, Chief? I know the password! Woohoo! I saw the mushroom put in the password. We can walk straight in the front door. You devil, you! Lead the way. You walk up to the fig and cut the vines and swamp flowers away to reveal the small blue door, inlaid with precious moonstone intricate engravings. Forge, guzzle, gulp, and grab. Never shall this wound scab. The door opened to reveal a vast cavern of glittering treasure far below. It was the hollow interior of an ancient strangler fig. The deep cavern reached down to the earth, cold as ice despite the heat outside. The floor of the cavern was piled with rubies and pearls and glinting onyx and solid gold pieces, larger than your fist. All across the room were lush silks and pillars of precious metals of every type and all manner of riches that would turn the King of Kings green with envy. You inhaled the rich, dark scent of incense and saw glimmering magenta smoke roll across the room and coat it all in a dark haze, smelling of the most incredible spices and herbs and enchanting odors. Jackpot! The thief tied a rope. Wow. The thief tied a rope around their waist, tied the other end to the doorknob, and began to lower themselves down to the treasure below. Come on! You saw a jeweled scimitar stuck to the wood nearby. I'm gonna help the thief. I love the thief. The thief's my favorite. You tied a rope around your waist and lowered yourself down to help the thief. They grabbed up a shining goblet encrusted with rubies and amethysts and chunks of moonstone carved in the shape of wildflowers. That sounds beautiful. As soon as they did, you heard a terrible rumbling and groaning all around you, and the walls shook. The mushroom emerged from a tap door on the floor and looked around wildly. Okay, naked lady. Oh, whoops, look like we better work fast. Run! You grabbed the thief's hand and tried to pull them away as they stuffed gems and jewels into their pockets. There she is, she's naked again. So you've decided to steal from Our Lady after all? How trite. I'd hoped you had the originality to avoid rehashing such dull tropes, darling. Sorry, didn't mute myself for that. The floor began to fall away before you, and all the golden treasure sprouted and turned to jelly spots and rust fungus and dog lichen and yellow staghorn and blue mold which bloomed in all directions. The black tongues of the earth wriggled out of the treasure hoard and lashed around you, and out from the soil emerged 10 dozen mushrooms, all identical to the ones in front of you. For weapons, they held puffballs and shield fungi and spindle tough shanks, and they walked towards you with a slow but terrible confidence. Drop the treasure. Drop the treasure. Oh god, there's so many naked ladies! The mushrooms surrounded you. Let's run for my life. Oh no, we tried to run, but we were completely surrounded. No one escapes Lady's embrace. Lady's embrace, no one. The mushrooms surrounded you. Steal some more spare gems. You ducked back and crammed some tumbling gems into your pockets with your spare hand. As you did, they burst apart into puffballs, which sent a waft of spores out of your pockets. The room began to spin around you. You slipped on a scarlet elf cap, began to fall into the pit. Below you could hear the slow beating of an ominous heart, and you looked down and saw the pale flesh twisting languidly in the darkness of the earth. The Master Thief threw up a grappling hook and grabbed hold of your wrist. Thank you! Master Thief, best character. The hook caught, and the two of you swung across the cavern to solid ground. Still, you couldn't escape the swarm of fungi. The mushrooms surrounded you. Well, you'd better try fighting them off, I guess. You grabbed a nearby candle, snuffed the fungus, and parried a thrust from the closest mushroom. I think I can see glimpses of what you were going for, darling, but ultimately the performance seems superficial and dated. Grappling hook! The mushroom effortlessly disarmed you with a sweep of her tough shank. Disappointing. So many blurs are gonna have to happen. Agreed. A lackluster piece. Won't suspect the artist's best day is behind her. Their attacks began to push you and the thief towards the edge of the ragged hole in the floor. The mushrooms surround you. I guess that's the only option left, as I lost all hope. There's too many of them! Not so fast! They took a whistle from their pocket and blew on it, making a harsh, shrill whine echo through the cavern. At first there was silence. The mushrooms paused. Then you heard an answering whistle, deep and loud enough to deafen you. A brilliant light shone through the windows of the cavern. There was the sound of thundering wheels. Oh, he's calling the goblin train! Or they're calling the goblin train! Woo! Master Thief, best character! A train crashed through the walls of the cavern. It was swarming with wild and chaotic shapes of all manners of monsters, and you could see a team of things holding onto the front and laying tracks in front of the train as fast as they could as it swerved through the cavern. Fungi leaping aside before it. Master Thief is the best character. They are so cool. Grab on! Behind you, the mushrooms closed in, throwing puffballs that exploded in clouds of spores around you. You ran up to the side of the train as it clattered along. The thief pushed you up to grab onto the side of the carriage. Then you reached down and pulled them up beside you. The train whistled with full force, gathering speed until it smashed through the other wall of the cavern and shot through the trees of the forest, leaving the mushrooms behind. Well, did you ever doubt me? 1,000 goblin shapes arrived. Oh, those aren't goblins, those are cute little animals. A couple of them are goblins. 1,000 goblin shapes writhed out of the train to hold the thief in celebration. And you heard a cheer rise up from 1,000 goblin throats. I need to sneeze. Oh my god, so many sneezes. Some had the heads of bats, some had the paws of cats. 6 heads, 3 heads, 5 arms, 10 tails, and they bristled with tails and wings and fur and scales. One crawled like a snail, one prowled like a wombat, one looked like 7 doves tied together with string. All of them had a chaos of forms the likes of which you'd never seen. A dozen hands clapped you on the back and drew you into the train carriage. Have a drink with us. Any friend of the thief's is a friend of ours. The train was bustling with a chaos of forms. Oh. I'm gonna go find the Master Thief because they are the best character. You walked through the cramped corridors of the train and found yourself in a giant feast hall where they were celebrating the Master Thief at the head of the table. Show us the loot! Yeah, what'd you get? The thief nervously reached in their pockets and turned them out. All the precious gold gemstones had turned to nothing but mud, sticks, rocks, and lichen. A tumble of mold and web caps and orange peel fungus dropped onto the table. The goblins stared in silence, then erupted into wild cheers. These are some of the shiniest rocks I ever saw! Now look at that! That right there is a nice stick if I ever seen one. I've seen some sticks in my time. That one is going in the nest for sure. How'd you get such good mold? This is the best mold haul since I've seen since the great fungus caper of 48. The crowd quieted down as the grizzled old goblin called for a toast. Ooh. Ahem. Ahem. I declare your apprenticeship complete. And so, with all the power invested in me, I hereby dub thee the Junior Thief. She held up the thief's hand and all the goblins roared and danced and sang and rolled around in celebration. The thief smiled awkwardly, but for some reason they didn't seem to share in the good mood. The smile quickly slid off their face, and they made an excuse to leave the party. The celebration raged on through the train carriage. I want to find the thief! They're the best character! You found them sitting on the rear balcony with their legs over the edge, watching the trees and hills roll by in the smoky night. Aye. You sat there with them in silence for a while, looking out. Oh, before I forget. They handed back the suckling pig and all the loose change stolen from the village, along with your stolen possessions and some extra money for your payment. Nice! Best character. Sorry about that. Ask them why they aren't celebrating. It's a long story. To hear the long version. Yeah, let's hear the long version. I don't have anywhere to be. Oh well, no harm in telling you, I suppose. My mother gave birth to 8 children, some beautiful, some ugly. After much time passed, the Lord came by to visit. My parents were delighted and they gathered the children all around them. The beautiful children were washed and bathed and placed in newly washed shirts. However, the ugly children were placed out of sight. One was hidden under the straw, one under a wine barrel, and one under the leather we used to cut our shoes, one under the cloth from which she made our clothes, and finally, I was placed in the coal chute. And so the Lord visited the house and ended up staying there for many years. I saw him often from the crack in the door of the coal chute. I tried to see his glory, but my tears carved trails of pale gold down my cheeks. One day I heard my mother talk of me to the Lord, saying, "What are we to do with this one?" Inside all good people there dwells a golden soul given by you, O Lord. But as soon as you look, anyone can see this one has nothing but a hollow nest of spiders and rats inside. What trade can I teach one such as this? Wow, your mom sucks. The Lord thought on this and said, "Bring all your children before me." To the first child he said, You shall become a powerful king." Then to the second and the third and so on down the line, "You shall become a duke, you a rich merchant, you a tanner, you a shoemaker, you a butcher, you a beggar." Then he finally reached me at the end of the line, "And you shall be a thief." My parents took me to the goblins to learn of thievery as the Lord instructed. One of the goblin queens sat and talked with me for a long time. Then they went to my parents and said, Your child will be taught well. We will keep them as an apprentice for 1 year. Come back then. If you can still recognize them, I won't take any money for my services and you can take them away. But if you cannot recognize them, you must give me 300 tailors. And they must be allowed to go free and do as they will. My parents agreed and went home, and now that year has passed. Tonight my parents will be here soon to take me away, and they always carry the Lord in their hearts. As soon as they arrive, he will instantly see me for the wretch I am. Then I will be whisked away from here again and live in the coal chute forever after. They sighed. There is still time. I can sneak away and get myself arrested. Then I'll be safe in a jail cell for a bit. Aw, I'm gonna promise to stay with them no matter what. Even though my godfather's going to take me away. You took their hand and squeezed it. Don't do that. I'll stay with you. If your parents want to take you, they have to take both of us. The thief held your hand tight. Thank you. In a few short hours, the train stopped on a rocky stretch of coast, and the thief's mother and father came to meet it. Midnight was approaching fast. You felt a cold chill come over you. Soon your godfather would come and take you away. Yeah, I might have just lied to the master thief, unfortunately, but... The goblins lined you up and the thief with 12 goblins on a tree branch. All of you transformed to become kings, parrots, and sparrows, and magpies, and birds of every type. Choose your child out of the line, and their life will be yours once more. But fail, and you must leave them with us. The thief's mother stood and stared for a long time, moving down the line slowly. As she looked out over you, the clouds parted and you felt the hot, bright rays of the Lord's gaze pierce through you, lighting up every scrap of darkness and guilt in your soul. The thief shook beside you. Their breath grew short, and they looked straight ahead, trying not to seem as though anything was wrong. After a long time, she moved down the line. She stepped away and conferred with her husband. Finally, she spoke. This one is our child. She pointed to a cinnamon cockatiel on the very left of the line. With a shout, it burst into smoke and revealed itself to be a goblin. The whole line erupted into goblin smoke, and the two of you were revealed. In a flash, the goblins turned both parents into hideous grubs, which squirmed away and were buried in the dirt. The blazing light vanished back behind the clouds, and the whole train leapt up in celebration. Thief stared about in amazement. What? I felt the eyes of God upon me. How could he not see the rot inside me? There's none there. There never was. Just then, in a puff of smoke, the devil appeared. Your godfather had come for you at last. Well done, my crooked little friends. Always good to see the man upstairs outsmarted once again. Come along now. The hour of ghosts is almost up, and I need you to clean out all the boilers of hell. Well, that doesn't sound very fun. I don't want to clean the boilers in hell. I want to stay with the Master Thief. Me and the Master Thief are best buds. Never. I think, yeah, Master Thief is going to get me out of this. Best character. I think I know a way out of this. Let's go with him. Come along now. The hour of ghosts is almost up, and I need you to clean out all the boilers of hell. Sure, let's go with the devil, because the Master Thief is going to get me out. Follow my lead. May I come along too, O devil? Long have I wished to see the fires of hell. We have so many thieves already. Why would I need another? But I am the sovereign of thieves, and all the crooks owe me allegiance. And they proved it by stealing the devil's golden tooth right out of his mouth. The devil snatched it back with a snarl. Very well. A fine prize you shall make for my servants. And the three of you set along the path to hell, with the devil rubbing his hands gleefully. As you walked, you passed by a cherry tree full of red fruits. Devil, please, if I make one last request, may you please climb up that tree and hand us some cherries? Believing the two of you to be broken, the devil agreed. But as soon as he was on the tree, the thief whipped out a vial of salt. In a wink, they drew a circle around the tree in chalk, and the old serpent was stuck to a branch as if he was glued to it. No! There, we got two of them in this playthrough. Foolish mortal, you will pay dearly for this. Throw down my friend's contract, and I will release you. The evil one refused for a long time, baring his teeth, wailing, and spreading an indescribable stench. But soon the hour of ghosts was about to end, and the goatfoot is a new one, risked losing his reign forever, which wore him down, as you can imagine. Fine, take it then. He unscrewed his left horn, took out a yellowed parchment and threw it down. You recognized it as your mother's handwriting, and in an instant you tore into 1,000 pieces. You felt a great weight lift from you. Now let me go! Cranberry, should we release the devil into the world, or should we leave him trapped in the cherry tree? Because we did make a deal with him that we would do that if he got rid of my contract. What do you think we should do, Cranberry? There's no wrong answers here. I'm just kind of curious what you think. Well, I'm glad you're a Christian woman. I am not. But I will go with you or what you say. What But you left Lucifer standing on that cherry tree, stomping his feet and pulling at his hair and turning the air black with curses. And he stays there to this day. Oh, it's a good ending. You're free now. The sounds of goblin celebration erupted all around you. You wrapped the master thief in a crushing bear hug and lifted them up on your shoulders. You were both free at last. You leapt on the goblin train and the thief and the goblins danced and celebrated all through the night. In the morning, you were faced with a choice. Because you had not yet tasted the goblin fruit, you could still return to your family and the world of humans. No, this world's way more fun. I'm gonna... No! Oh, you can marry the thief? Oh! I didn't think that would be an option. I'm getting a friend vibe from the thief. Maybe not marry. Like, not a romantic, but definitely a friend. You stayed with the goblin train and remained good friends with the thief forever after. You lived on the train in happiness with your friend the thief for all of your days, venturing from place to place with wild abandon. You live there still, rattling across the whole world on the goblin train, and you will have no rest until the day of judgment. ... Oh? And what happened to the mushroom, you ask? After you fled, the mushroom was left standing outside her tree. She looked out the vanishing smoke of the goblin train in the distance and sighed. A giant hole had been torn in the strangler fig, and the untold riches of her domain were leaking all over the place. Oh, lady, you had to show up again, eh? Oh, well. Nothing to do about it now. Perhaps a drink. She pulled a bottle of wine from one of the scattered treasure piles that had fallen out in the commotion, and popped the cork. Wonderful idea, darling. We can always start the cleanup tomorrow. Sisters, does the sky seem darker than normal to you? They looked out into the night. There was the sound from a tree, like a howling of the wind. Oh God, what's happening? Oh no, no. She rushed back inside and slammed the door behind her. Courage, we knew this day would come. I just didn't realize it would be so soon. We have to run, come on. But as she looked around for her sisters, she realized she was alone. There was only Mud and Mushroom there, standing alone in the center of an empty room. There had never been anything more. Oh, this is kind of sad. The treasure was gone, the floorboards were bare. Through the hole in the tree, she could see the night sky. There were no stars. She grabbed the bottle of wine, ran to her hidden chamber, and locked the door tight. It was too late, of course. The wolf was already inside. She turned to grab the door and escape. But there was no door. There never was. Nothing but smooth, featureless wall. She turned and held up the bottle like a club. Get out, beast! It's not time yet! Get out! Get out, Mushroom? But how? This room is the only thing that exists. There is nothing outside. There is nowhere but here. That's the way it's always been. She screamed and clawed at the walls, but there were no walls. This is like really dark ending. There were no doors. There were no windows. There was no floor. There was no air. There was no light. There was no space. And then there was nothing at all. Nothing but a bottle of wine that fell through the emptiness and smashed into pieces. It was never seen or heard from again. I have seen one ending. Oh! Spooky! Spooky ending! I love this. This was an amazing little... The end of the book? Oh! Oh! She disappeared! I feel bad for her, though. I don't think that was my fault, but I feel bad. She, like, got erased in... Oh, she's gone! Oh! It just says the thief, the witch, and the toad. The mushroom's gone! Oh! Oh my God! Yes. Yes. I don't know if I can with YouTube editing, but the mushroom is gone on the title. Oh, that's so spooky. I love that. It's just the thief, the witch, and the toad now. Oh, this was a cool game. It was kind of more of a choose your own adventure book, but oh, the art was so good. The story was really good and really trippy. And really like, oh, that's so cool. Okay. I'm losing my voice though. Because I always do when I do these visual novels. Oh, that was a spooky ending. I like that. Very Halloween-y. So I'm going to stop it there. But I'm going to recommend this to some people I know because this is such a cool game. Oh, so spooky. Anyway. I was like, oh, this isn't very scary. This is more like a nice little, like, crazy fairy tale. And then the end happened. I'm like, oh no, it's got some spooks. There's some spooks. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, thank you for joining, Cranberry. I hope you enjoyed this crazy little fairy tale game. Recommend playing it yourself. It is free. It is on Steam. It's called the title. Oh my god, the title of the game has changed too. This title. I can't. The one on the bar, on the game bar. Can you see that? No, you can't. But the actual title of the game, like the file of the game, only says The Thief, the Witch, and the Toad now as well. It doesn't say. Oh. So I actually changed the game files. Oh, it's a Doki Doki Literature Club game. Okay. I have to stop because I'm losing my voice. But thank you, Cranberry, so much for joining. Please play this game. It's free. You can do the other endings if you want. I know. Oh, wait. You might have to translate a lot. But it's so cool. But anyway. Thank you so much for joining. I'm calming down now. Thank you so much for joining. We will see you on Wednesday for art, if you want to join. No pressure. See you on Wednesday for art, and there's going to be a video tomorrow. I don't know if there's a Japanese version. There might be. There might be a Japanese version. So, definitely check it out. But, yeah. Fantastic game. I am so impressed with this. I'm so glad I decided to play this. And no offense to the cute little witch puzzle game. I'm glad I played this. This was such a cool time. Okay. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm not gonna be able to talk. Okay. You have a great day, Cranberry, and anyone else who's watching. I hope you're having a great day. If you're not having a great day, I hope your bad day is over with soon. And we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye!